Hi, you're watching Feeling Right, and I am Simran Kaur Arora. So, today we have with us a very special guest who's going to talk on a very interesting topic, the topic about lifestyle diseases. The person who is here to give us information has an experience of 16 years in diabetics. He's one of the finest diabetologists known in our country, Dr. Rohit Mahajan. Dr. Rohit Mahajan and his team have been at the forefront of many national and international trials in the field of diabetes. His clinic specializes in early diagnosis and evidence-based management for patients. Dr. Rohit Mahajan, thank you so much for joining us. And here we start off with our questions. The first question: as young mothers, why should we be concerned about lifestyle diseases? Because lifestyle typically means at the age of 40s and above. So, if you're talking about children, how are they really concerned with any lifestyle disease?
Thanks, Imran. Yes, what is the earliest age at which the signs of heart disease have been found in humans?
Well, I know a lot of people who are dying young, so I'm assuming 35?
No, guess again.
Maybe 18?
No, you are wrong again. Guess again.
16?
It is the first year of life during which earliest signs of heart disease have been found.
Are you serious?
Even during intrauterine life, the fetus develops some signs of heart disease.
Why should we be concerned about them in the COVID-19 era when there's already a pandemic around us?
You're right. Corona has claimed more than 4 lakh lives already all over world in last 6 months. It's very scary, but diabetes has caused more than 25 lakh deaths in last 6 months. Cardiovascular diseases, stroke, heart attacks, they have claimed about 90 lakh lives in last 6 months. So they are equally important, if not more important. Moreover, Corona spares people who are not having heart disease or diabetes or high blood pressure. Lifestyle diseases, as the name says, are as a result of wrong choices made regarding living life. It can be wrong food choices, it can be wrong choices regarding physical activity, but the net result is that there is overall energy excess, calorie excess, which leads to obesity. Now the young mothers might say that a chubby kid is cuter than a skinny one. They're right. But what about heart diseases? What about diabetes? What about strokes?
The second question, Dr. Rohit. Doctor, if you had to suggest that one change that we should as mothers bring about to ensure that it is one of the greatest health benefits that we can transfer to our children, what is it going to be?
Sugars. Avoiding sugars is a very good shortcut of avoiding unnecessary excess calories. Our diet has 3 macronutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Unfortunately, Indian diets are having too much of carbohydrates and very less of proteins. Proteins are the building blocks of the body. So I'll first of all focus on proteins. To get sufficient proteins in diets, those families who are non-vegetarian, it's very easy. Eggs are a very good source of proteins. Lean meat, chicken breast is a very good source of protein. Those who are vegetarian, they have got pulses, all the dals, grams, soya bean, spinach. These are excellent sources of proteins. All the nuts are wonderful. They are loaded with proteins and they are having very good fats also, heart-friendly fats. Now we come to carbohydrates. Like I mentioned that carbohydrates are in too much quantity in our diets. All the sugary foods cold drinks are real loaded with carbohydrates. But let's see what are the good carbohydrates and what are the bad carbohydrates. So whole grains are good carbohydrates. We are supposed to take whole grains and as much as possible avoid processed foods. So whole wheat atta is good, maida is good, brown rice is good, white rice is bad. In general, I would say all the cookies and rusk and bread, they are not good. They are again sort of processed foods. So our simple chapati with whole wheat is better than bread. Coming to fats. So let me assure you that fat is not as bad as it used to be considered. For cooking fat, although olive oil is the best one, but it is relatively very expensive and it is difficult to use it for frying. So it is more to be used as a dressing medium. You can use desi ghee, you can use sarson ka tel, but avoid refined oils, which were highly recommended earlier. Good sources of fats are eggs. Egg yolk is an excellent source of fat, which is heart friendly. A child can take up to 2 whole eggs every day. Nuts are excellent sources of fats. Child can take a full handful or maybe 2 handfuls even daily. One single food that I wish mothers could avoid for their children will be sweetened beverages. All these cold drinks, Coke, Pepsi, everything. They are loaded with sugars.
Doctor, are you saying that our little kids should live like saints? That means we totally cut out any sugar or chocolates from the diet. What about the fun element? What about growing up as a child?
The idea of fun, idea of enjoying childhood is entirely subjective. A child is not born that to have fun he has to watch all the day TV or play video games or eat chocolates or drink Coke or Pepsi. A child simply wants to have fun. He wants to run, he wants to laugh, he wants to explore various things. It is we, the parents, impose our own ideas about fun to our children.
Fair enough. So, what are some of the instructions or some of the recommendations from your end, doctor, to ensure that we instill correct diet or lifestyle habits in our children?
First of all, I must tell you that except for very poor people, most of us are having a problem of overnutrition and not undernutrition. Most of our families, most of the people who are listening to this talk are having the problem of overnutrition. And how to curb that? The best practices for mothers are that just get rid of one habit. मेरा बच्चा कुछ नहीं खाता, मेरा बच्चा कुछ नहीं खाता. So the child knows when to eat if he is hungry and when not to eat. It is a beautiful alarm system, beautiful feedback mechanism built by God in our bodies. It's only we, the adults, we mess with our own bodies and we mess with our kids' bodies as well. Secondly, don't ask your child, finish your food. प्लेट में खाना नहीं छोड़ना है. This is wrong. The excess food in plate is because of your fault. It's not child's fault. Don't force him to finish that food. It can be taken at later stage, but in future, put less food in his plate. take a bigger plate with less food. So remember, we are having problem of excess food, excess calories, and not less food.
Well, doctor, couldn't agree more with you. Aerated drinks are a no-no. But what about fruit juices? Can't we give them fruit juices instead?
No, fruit juices are almost as bad as cold drinks. Even the fresh ones, they are having as much sugars in the form of fructose. They cause weight gain. Well, fruits are good. So how come fruits are good and fruit juices are not? Because fruits are having fiber also in them, and the sugar in fruits is then absorbed slowly. If God wanted you to drink fruit juice instead of fruit, then God have put fruit juices on the trees instead of fruits.
Dr. Rohit, can you help us figure some of the substitutes that we can give to our children, especially in summers, as drinks?
The best cool drink to enjoy in summers will be chach or lassi, nimbu pani without sugar, jal jeera. They are excellent substitutes for cold drinks.
Well, we're on with a very interesting conversation with Dr. Rohit Malik, and we're not done yet. Please continue watching this video in part 2.